The galactic concord had stood unchallenged for 10,000 years. Composed of 12 ancient species, the concord governed over half the known galaxy with wisdom, diplomacy, and overwhelming force. Peace, in their eyes, was not the absence of war, but the triumph of order. For eons, they had held the line. But nothing lasts forever. And they never accounted for humans. Council Chamber, Orin Spire, Galactic Core World 9XC. The chamber ceilings were higher than most moons. Gilded with photonic crystal and wrapped in neural lattice, it could host 12 species with vastly different physiologies, atmospheres, and languages. A miracle of engineering, it was a throne room of reason. Today, it was also a target. Counselor Kvar of the Threx Empire, a serpentine species with a mind measured in exaflops, spoke first. Let the record show we were deceived. By a primitive, hissed Zunkar, the avian voice of the Volari clutch. A low-gravity mammal from a death world. We gave it audience out of pity. The being in question stood still. Human. Alone. Unarmed. Ambassador Elias Rain, representing the now-extinct United Terran Republic. Your fleet fired the first shot, Elias said, voice calm. We asked to join. You sent warships. Your species detonated a neutron bomb on Council Colony Prime, spat another delegate. I warned you. You didn't listen. Tension crackled through the air like static before a storm. 2 war drones hovered near the human, targeting arrays spinning. Behind the force field, an armed phalanx of crocked elite warriors, towering insectoid killers, waited for the order to rip him apart. Yet the man didn't flinch. Elias stood in a matte black suit, featureless save for a silver insignia at the collar, a broken world wrapped in chains. The sigil of Soul's vengeance. You murdered our scouts, he continued. Claimed Earth's moons for resource regulation. You sterilized Mars. You were uninvited vermin, Kvar hissed. Your kind reached faster than light travel by sheer accident. Elias took 1 step forward. The drones surged. The field flickered. And then he smiled. It was not a warm smile. It was not even human. Let me tell you something, he said, voice dropping an octave. You looked at Earth and saw a primitive world. You saw storms, monsters, diseases, war. You saw fire and blood. You saw death. A pause. Long enough for even the psionic Yelkor to detect the shift in energy. You thought we came from death. Elias adjusted his tie. We are death. 10 years earlier, Soul System. When the Council first detected Earth's warp signature, they laughed. The species had evolved in a gravity well surrounded by predators, radiation, and volcanic winters. They shouldn't have survived. When they saw humans tearing apart quantum gravity barriers using little more than trial and error and explosive prototypes, the laughter turned uneasy. Then came the Black Treaty, signed by 50 fractured Earth nations who had never agreed on anything before. United under one purpose, survival. Their emissary, Elias Rain, was sent to negotiate entry into the Galactic Concord. Instead, they were denied. Earth was sanctioned. Its colonies were stripped. Its sun, targeted by energy-leaching tech to stunt stellar growth. It was genocide in slow motion. Back in the chamber, Elias walked forward again. The war drones activated kill mode, then stopped. One clattered to the floor. The other hovered, then whined, circuits melting. The force field sputtered and died. The crocked warriors didn't move. They couldn't. Their armor had fused. Gasps erupted from around the chamber as one by one, lights flickered. Communication arrays glitched. The floor trembled. What is this? Bellowed Zunkar. EMP? Nanotech? Mind control? Counselors shouted. No, Elias whispered. He reached into his coat. 12 guards tensed. He pulled out a watch. An old Terran analog watch. It ticked. I didn't come to argue, he said. I came to deliver a message. A hologram lit up behind him. It showed Earth, still burning from orbital bombardment. Then Luna, now weaponized, hollowed out, built into a railgun platform the size of a continent. Finally, Soul. But it was no longer just a star. It had been converted into something else, something humming with alien frequencies and dark energy. The Starforge Protocol. 10 years ago, you killed 10 billion of my people, Elias said. You called it a lesson. He pressed the watch face. And now class is in session. Aboard the Thanatos, low orbit above Orin. The command AI awoke with a whisper. Authorization. Reign Omega. Target. Council Core Worlds. Status. Judgment. Council members screamed. The sky above their world tore open. The Thanatos was unlike anything they'd encountered. Forged in the sun's heart. Driven by dark matter engines. Armed with weapons designed not to kill, but to erase. Each of its spinal cannons ignited. Orbital stations blinked out of existence. Fleet signatures vanished. Their defense grid didn't even have time to activate. The chamber shook as glass rained down. Elias stood in the center. Untouched. You trained for war, he said. We evolved for extinction. You can't do this, Counselor Yelkor gasped, struggling to mind-link with his allies. You'll burn the galaxy. We begged for peace, Elias said. You answered with plasma and poison. A pause. Now we answer. One by one, Council homeworlds went silent. The Thanatos moved like a ghost, phasing in and out of reality, wielding weapons humanity had built in secret bunkers beneath dead moons. Anti-civilization viruses. Time dilation bombs. Grave tick implosions. The Concord, once invincible, shattered in days. Only Orin remained. In the chamber, the 12 great races watched as Elias raised his hand. A final signal. Humanity does not forget, he said. We are not peacekeepers. We are not diplomats. He turned to the remaining guards. We are the reckoning. Transmission from Elias Rain, 5 seconds before Council signal loss. You called us a Death World species. You were wrong. We're not from the Death World. We are its ambassadors. Aftermath. Elias Rain was never seen again. The Thanatos disappeared into deep space, its engines leaving rifts in subspace that still warp reality. Of the 12 Concord species, only fragments remain. Refugees hiding in the void. No human government rose in place of the Council. No flag was planted. No claim was made. But across the stars, one phrase is now whispered. Do not summon the humans. For when they come, they wear death like a suit, and it always fits.